Japanese media has grown exponentially in popularity over the course of the last 2 decades. It's to the point that you can find English communities online talking about things as obscure as Kamen Rider. The result of this is that you get a lot more media influenced by it. However, while you might see a decent amount of anime and manga influence in Western made media, there is a noticeable absence of influence from visual novels. In the West, there's an unfortunate stigmatization of this medium as being nothing but, quote, trashy dating sims, leading to either mocking parodies or creating what they believe visual novels should be. So it always fascinates me when I see an English-speaking creator tackle making their own visual novel in a sincere way. Kiss the Demiurge really feels like a labor of love from somebody who genuinely cares about the medium of visual novels and wants to create and leave their mark on it. What can I say? I just love seeing my fellow weebs create their series while going the extra mile to stay true to the medium they're inspired by. It's what separates works like Karawa Shoujo from High Guardian Spice, i.e. the art from the trash. Kiss the Demiurge is a Yuri slice of life drama that takes place from the perspective of Minori, a cynical high school girl with magical powers. She works for an organization called the Universal Magic Inquisition, or UMI, and under their orders locates and eliminates any traces of magic in her area. At the start of the story, Minori transfers to a school with unusual magic activity and gets involved with a club of 3 girls who practice fake magic. From here, you watch the girls and their dorky shenanigans as Minori attempts to get them to give up magic.
Look out!
Hey guys, Future Jade here. I just want to interject that this story can get quite dark at certain points. I don't want to catch you off guard or blindside you with this because let's just say not everything in the story is what it seems at first, even the synopsis I just gave you. So yeah, I just want you to keep that in mind if you do decide to actually get into this VN. But yeah, back to the video. That's the long and short of the VN's basic narrative. Of course, outside a visual novel's story, the other aspect of it is its presentation, the elephant in the room, as it were. I avoided saying anything about it right away because I actually have a decent amount to comment on. On first glance, when you fire up the VN, it becomes extremely obvious that there were limitations the creator faced while making it. The overall presentation isn't particularly impressive, and I can imagine that the type of fans that tend to not take towards anything that doesn't look extremely high production are most likely not going to give it a chance. However, I would argue that when you combine it with the music, the narrative, I believe it really works for this VN for some reason. I find myself being drawn into the narrative when all of the pieces come together. I would honestly compare the style to something like a Ryukishi 07 game. Umineko with its magic thing is probably the best comparison, but Higurashi also keeps jumping to my mind. So if you're into Ryukishi 07's art style, then maybe this VN will be up your alley, especially if you like Yuri. Now, I keep glossing over this detail, but the novel was introduced to me as a Yuri VN, something that I admittedly didn't have any experience with. I'm a pretty basic ass guy when it comes to stuff involving romance in the media I watch/read, and I haven't really consumed a lot of things that aren't heterosexual couples doing weird anime shit. I was that fucking kid who was reading harem manga at school in middle and high school, so this is a whole new realm for me. Though if you are anything like me, you shouldn't have any problems considering that the story eases you into the romantic aspects with more of a focus on the internal workings of the characters, which for whatever reason I haven't talked about in much detail yet. Clearly this is the most amazing video I've ever made. Pure art, pure amazingness, fantastic creation. Oh yeah, Future Jade here again. I forgot to mention this, but please no fucking spoilers in the comments section. I've already gone through one of the routes of the game. I know a big fucking plot point, plot twist, a major plot element to everything that like really reframes the entire VN. So please, please, for the love of God, don't spoil it for other people in the comments section. I have to specifically mention this because on my fucking Kumo Desu ka Nanika video, people will literally spam spoilers on that fucking light novel. So please be considerate. Anyway, back to the video.
And so I cry sometimes when I'm lying in bed just to get it out what's in my head, and
Lazy. The way the story is set up and the characters are portrayed kind of reminds me of an anime called Love, Chunibyo, and Other Delusions. You may have heard of it. They both have the setup of a jaded main character that once loved the extraordinary, being put in a room full of people that are just like how they used to be and having to deal with their antics. I love Chunibyo, so inevitably I'm going to have that comparison in my head. But hey, that's just another reason you just might like this VN. It's just like one of my Japanese animes. Now, I think the creator did a great job with the main character in particular. She's a very multi-layered character that encapsulates the good this story has to offer. The thing I find to be the most fascinating about her is the layer of separation she has between her inner world and the world around her. She very consciously puts up walls between her and the people around her, lying to them all the time and telling them things that they want to hear, but she's not a bad person at her core. Everything Minori does is for the sake of other people. She ignores her own wants and needs, her own pain, in favor of doing what she believes is best for them. The emotional distance she has with the world around her is super palpable, and I think you'll definitely notice this as you read. I won't get into the other characters too much because I think it's for the best that you experience these things for yourself. These characters are quirky, dorky, and on the surface are a very fun contrast to Minori's general cynical attitude. On the surface, at least. Akane is the club's leader and comes off as a complete dork. She goes around doing weird stuff in public. Most of her magic scenes involve her trying to change the weather and shit. Tomoko is the blonde medium that gives off a more domestic energy, being good at cooking and all that. And finally, Chitori is the quiet, more standoffish girl of the trio that does tarot readings. It's heavily implied early in the story that the girls are social pariahs with potentially deep emotional baggage. There is a choice in the game as to which girl you'd like to focus on, and I encourage you just to pick whoever you think is interesting. One thing I just have to mention here is how good the music is. Seriously, whoever on the team that is responsible for the instrumentals did a great job. The music combined with the writing of the scenes just sucks you into the story. The overall number of tracks isn't very numerous, but they're used very effectively. Very well done. Overall, the thing I want to reiterate about this VN is that I find its existence to be super hopeful. One of my major dreams that I don't really talk about is a dream to create my own Japanese inspired games and visual novels. So things like these give me hope for a future where I can pursue that. Kiss the Demiurge may not look that impressive on the surface, but this is the first project of the creators and represents their love and their passion, and as such, I recommend it to anyone willing to give them a chance. Also, I want to give a shout out to the folks at Yuri Eureka, the devs I've been referencing up to this point, for reaching out to me. I'm honestly genuinely flattered that they liked my video on Planetarian enough to send me this VN for free. It took me a long time to get this video out, but I hope all of you enjoyed the results. I usually don't script my videos because I find that I sound more robotic, but it's also a lot easier for me to collect my thoughts in a cohesive way. Thanks for watching. Check out Kiss the Demiurge on Steam and tell me what you think in the comments below. Have a wonderful day.